Welcome at beertap.eu. Today I want to explain you how to install an under-counter cooler. You need to have the following products. It's a beer keg, it's your CO2 cylinder, you need the undercountercooler, a dispense head, some tubes and John guest fittings, a dispense tower, a drip tray as last. These products, you should have all of these products. At first, assemble the CO2 pressure reducer to your CO2 cylinder. Tighten it with a good tool, size 30. Please be aware that you tighten the CO2 bottle to a table or to something else, maybe something under your bar, so that the CO2 bottle can fall aside. If that happens, the manometers of the CO2 pressure reducer are very fragile and they can break. When you have done that, we're gonna place the undercountercooler under the bar, place the keg at the side, at the place where you want to have it, assemble the John guest fitting to the CO2 pressure reducer, connect the pressure tube into the John guest fitting, and with the John guest bolt, assemble that one at the side of your dispense head, and also connect it with the pressure tube. Then at the top of the dispense head, you will also need to assemble a John guest bolt and connect it with the beer tube. So now you have everything with the John guest fittings and the tubes ready to connect your beer keg. The beer keg at the top of the dispense head goes to the input side of your undercountercooler. Just connect it and please be aware that you push the tube far enough into the John guest fitting. Now everything from beer keg to the input side of the undercounter beer cooler is ready. Now we go to the output side of the undercounter cooler, and at first we're gonna assemble the dispense tower at the top of your bar. At the bottom of the dispense tower there is a nut. Screw it off and just bore a hole into your bar at the place where you want to have your dispense tower. The screwing from the dispense tower goes through your bar, and at the bottom of it you can tighten it with the nut. When you look at your dispense tower, there are stainless steel tubes coming out of the dispense tower. The stainless steel tubes with the fewer rings, these are the rings that you need for your beverages. So when you have a dispense tower with one tap, you have one stainless steel tube with 3 rings on it. That's the one for your beverage. If you have a dispense tower with 2 taps, you have 2 stainless steel tubes with 3 rings on it. These are the stainless steel tubes that you need for your beverages. Assemble the John guest fittings to those stainless steel tubes, and at the bottom of these John guest fittings you can connect your beer tubes and connect this insulated beer tube, because you have also a piece of insulation with the undercounter cooler. Assemble that one and tighten it very good to your undercounter beer cooler at the output side. If you have done that, you have assembled everything and you have taken all of the steps to install your undercounter cooler. Now, when you have installed your undercounter cooler, it's time to connect your keg to the installation. So place the dispense head on the keg and push the black button, the black handle down. At first now you see that there is beer coming out and that flushes into your beer cooler. Tap a little bit and be aware that all of the cooling coils are filled with beer. Now open your CO2 cylinder, adjust the CO2 pressure to approximately, let's say, 2.6 to 2.7 bars. The right CO2 pressure is depending on the ambient temperature of your bar and the location where your installation is placed, and it's also depending on the type of beer that you are going to dispense. We have some other information in some other articles at our web store, but start with 2.7 to 2.6 bars approximately. That must be good for most cases. Be aware that the undercountercooler is filled with water and that the cooling coils are underwater. When you have taken all of those steps, put the electric plug into the electricity and switch on the thermostat. You now hear that the cooling compressor is starting to run and the water bath is going to cool. It takes approximately 2 to 2.5 hours before the water is very good cold and you can dispense your first good chilled beer. At the top of the undercountercooler you will also find a piping pump. It is very important to always use the piping pump. It recirculates the cooling water and protects the water bath from freezing. If you haven't connected the piping pump with a piece of tube, you will have leakage and the water will flow away and the water bath of the cooler will get empty. So always bring back the tube into the water bath of the undercountercooler.